Blizzard fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is Game 3 between HerO and Maru on Deadwing LE. This is from their quarterfinal series from IEM Taipei 2015, held in January. Now this is Protoss versus Terran. The series is tied up 1-1, which really means it's anybody's game right now. And this is the blue Protoss, blue Terran player Maru with his little Starcraft logo. If you haven't checked out Carbot's animations of Starcraft, called Starcrafts with an S on the end, I encourage you to do so. Just search Starcrafts in YouTube, and in the top left we have the pink Protoss player HerO. Now in Game 1 I explained that both of these players got their Starcraft career started at a very young age, both while they were well under 18 years old. And they just continued right into StarCraft 2, winning tournaments, and they are currently two of the best players in the entire world, as evidenced by the fact that they are in the quarterfinals of a major tournament held in Taipei back in January. Now, Maru has been known to open up proxy barracks, while HerO has been a little bit more standard with his play. No proxy pylons that I can remember in this series so far. I did see a proxy pylon in the last game, but I don't think it ever got used for anything. And yes, we just go Nexus first from HerO, a very strong play, and it matches the Command Center first play from Maru. So both players is going Command Center and Nexus first, getting up their economy, recognizing this map is so big, it's hard to scout out, it's hard to get units across the map exactly where you need them to be to try to deny this sort of thing. A little bit of harassment from HerO's probe, gets chased away by a second SCV brought off the line, repairs up the guy who's actually building the command center, and then moves on in for the scout. He's going to see 2 barracks and no gas, which means some early Marines likely for defense at this point. Meanwhile, back in the Protoss base, we have a cybernetics core and a gateway, so fairly standard stuff with 2 gas from him. So might see a little bit of some Stargate play, but all those Marines that are out are going to discourage that from really happening. Wow, a 3 barracks opener from Maru. A lot of Marines are going to come out. Might be a Marine timing hit, but the problem is with the mothership core out and that photon overcharge available to it, it's just really hard to get up this ramp and do a lot of damage while the threat of that photon overcharge laser beam coming out of this Nexus is a threat. So we slow the game down a little bit. Probe takes this Zelnaga watchtower because he needs to know if there are Marines coming on up to destroy his base. He can see to out here, which gives him plenty of time to notice that the Marines are coming on up and prepare a defense. So that's a good scout from him, getting that tower, no big deal. A bunker at the front, and we are now taking 2 gas in the natural. So probably getting upgrades for these Marines. Going to go ahead and get a Tech Lab for Marines moving on up with mischief on their minds. The probe sees them coming, gets out of there, says, alright, there's some aggression coming. What is the response? Chrono boosting out probes. Mothership core might have enough energy for a photon overcharge. It needs 100 by the time these guys get here. Yes, especially if there's a stalker that gets a free pickoff on that Marine. And the Marines now spread out. We have one heading out, probably trying to find proxy pylons, I suppose. Does he actually know? You know what? He doesn't know where the Protoss player is. No, he doesn't. Oh, so that's interesting. So he went ahead and got some early aggression out without really scouting first. So these Marines are just for defense. They are back home. This probe scouting things out, looking for proxy starports or factories. I don't know. Marine says, alright, check out that Zelnaga watchtower. Didn't show me anything of import. So I'm going to head on up and see if I can find out where my Protoss enemy is. And he's going to head to this base. And then where from there? Right over here to this front door. So I don't know. He's not really going to scout out where the Protoss player is based on the movement of this Marine. But again, Maru is a million times better at this game than I will ever be. And so there we go. He moves the Marine on up to actually check for the presence of some Protoss forces or buildings. And yes, there is one. And he gets the heck out of there. He doesn't want to die to this Mothership core. Mothership core chasing him down, but he is slower, unfortunately, than these Marines. Oh, but the Marine takes a fortuitous pass for the Mother core. Oh, checks for the presence of a third, sees there is not one, and dies in honor doing service to his country. So, while there's a bit of a lull here, one of the StarCraft 2 developers did tweet out that they're looking at giving a Legacy of the Void beta to the top 20% of the ladder players in the current season of StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. So that's something I'm pretty interested in, obviously. Right now I am in gold. I've only played like 4 or 5 games in the ladder, so I feel like if I worked hard I could get up to mid-plat. which is where I've been told you need to be in order to be in that top 20%. So I might start actually casting some of my own games to catch my own mistakes. That is something that Starcraft has done a lot in the past, is recasting his games and kind of seeing what mistakes he made, where he can improve, where he can get better. And he actually, I think, made it into Masters by using that method. And he played a lot too. He was one of my favorite Zerg players. Just really fun to watch. He raged pretty hard when he lost. And so I really don't want to emulate him on that point. But at the same time, I am interested in learning from my play and getting up to Platinum and getting Legacy of the Void. So a third base going down for HerO. A response third base going down for Maru. Both these guys really macroing on this map, but again, it is Deadwing. It is really set for macro games. And over here we have a proxy pylon from HerO and a observer looking for any weirdness coming up this left side. This is one of the strange things about Deadwing. You kind of have this weird corridor running up both sides of the map. It's very narrow. If you get stuck here, it's hard to get off, but it leads behind the mineral lines for this base and for this base. And so what you'll see is people are afraid to take these bases because harassment from up here is very easy to do with Terran, get tanks up here, with Stalkers, get Stalkers up here, Colossus, things like that. And so most people will not actually take these bases. There are so many other bases too. You'll notice scouting here, scouting here, scouting here. So many other bases that are safer to take. You just don't see these ones along the right side and the left side here. Or I guess right side, left side, taken that often. Observer reports there is a marine marauder medevac ball heading our way. I really love the yellow in contrast with the blue here, and especially because it's the Starcraft's logo. Just so awesome, so cute. Anyway, dropping guys off. Come join the ball, the medevacs say, and kind of scouting around, moving back and forth. Maybe a bit of a feint. We do have 2 Colossus out already for HerO, even going 3 base early. He's got 2 Colossus out at the 10-minute mark. Just fantastic macro on his part. It is 56 to 62 harvesters in favor of the Protoss player. This observer doing a great job kind of scouting things out. Drop coming up along the left side. I think that's the purpose of this observer, is to see drops coming. And so we're going to attack at the front and probably try to drop in the main at the same time. We'll see what the plan is for Maru, however. He is taking both of his gas there. He now has 6 gas, which is pretty much going to be for upgrades, I believe. Yes, ground upgrades for armor coming up here. A scan at the front to see exactly what's going on. He sees Colossus, he sees Stalkers, and he sees some other sentries there as well. These guys get scouted out by this observer, and so they have to head on home. Warp Prism going to try to be picked off, dropping, hitting it, can't quite do it, but I think we'll probably see some defense on this end. For the Terran player, yes, getting Vikings out at the starport to try to snipe down this Warp Prism. Zealot runs up to scout, which seems unnecessary because there's an observer here, but maybe he was just faster than the rest of his friends. Big engagement here. Blink Stalkers blinking up, taking out a couple of the Marines, focusing down Marauders, doing what damage they can, not really losing anything in that engagement. I guess a single Stalker did go down. I think that was equitable for HerO. And did the Warp Prism try to come down? It looks like it did, but probably got taken out by one of these Marines. Is there still a Warp Prism on the field? There is. And here he is. He moved over here to provide reinforcements. Alright, so major battle up here at the front. Pushing the front is HerO with these Colossus at the back. They're not taking much damage at all. There's a good concave, and there is actually Guardian Shield, Time Warp rather, going down on those bio units. Vikings coming in, trying to snipe down these Colossus. Good blink left by HerO to take down those Vikings before they can do too much damage. And yes, all the Colossus are still alive. This is a huge attack from HerO. He does have +1 upgrades and +1 armor and +1 defense. The Mothership Core is still alive, which is nice, doing a little bit of DPS. The Colossus with so many kills, 10 kills, 12 kills. The Stalkers absorbing a lot of the damage. Zealots coming on up to do the same thing. The Zealot charge already done, getting up to the front. This is a difficult spot for Maru to be in. I don't know if he can handle this. The bunker going down, being focused down by these Colossus, and it does fall. Sniping down a medevac. These Stalkers are doing their best to get rid of the available healing, and 11 workers have been killed by that attack, which is huge. 62 to 34 harvesters in favor of HerO. Just amazing timing attack coming on in, taking a quick swipe at that orbital command, and then really force fielding off the forward push of those Marauders. They are forced to retreat. Some good stutter step micro there from Maru, but the Colossus really focusing down this orbital command, the remaining Colossus anyway. Stalkers moving on up. Zealots really just absorbing and doing as much damage as they can on the front lines. And this supply depot might burn down. I don't know if this is enough for HerO to actually end the game. A quick scout says, okay, there is a third base for my Protoss player. I am losing my third base. I am in a tough spot. I need to win this engagement as soon as possible. They try to snipe down the orbital command down to 35. Getting healed up now, so it might survive as long as these Stalkers... No, the Stalkers pick it off. Their attention was not elsewhere. And instead, more Colossus coming in. 13 kills, 3 kills on those. Just doing a whole ton of damage, blinking on in, cleaning up the rest of this Terran army, and Maru calls the GG. That is it. HerO takes game 3. He now leads 2-1. This has been Falcon Paladin. If you liked what you saw today, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, tell your friends about daily StarCraft 2 professional casts. And you can also find me on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, you take care of yourself.